Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is U2CANB Great. Okay, so this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 episode 6 review. Don't be sea salty. So this one's gonna be kind of long because this episode there was a whole lot of mess going on every part, on all sides, and I'm finna talk about it because I know somebody sent me a message saying, are you gonna review this? And I said yes I will, but I didn't have time, so I'm gonna do it real quick. Now let's get into this, because I think everybody fake at this point. And if you are a Kenya fan, if you are a Sheree fan, if you are even a Marlo fan, God help you, if you are a Sanya fan, if you are a Drew fan, I don't care. If you were a Kandi fan, I'm going to say what I want to say about every individual circumstance that occurred during this episode that needs to be talked about. So let's get into it. So the show and the episode left off with, or starts off with, the situation with Tyrone and Sheree. From what y'all know, we all know about it. She was by herself. Last episode, Sheree was left alone, stood up by the guy by Prison Boo that just came out. She drove all the way to Philadelphia in a car with the cameras, Bravo cameras going with her. She did not consider the fact that Tyrone just came out of prison. He don't want to be sitting on camera, and he don't want to be sitting there having somebody who's watching him figure out what other crime he may have committed to have him sent back into prison because he is African American. But the thing about it is, he did not make the effort to contact her or communicate her, which begs the question that he has some hoe that he's probably then up under. He's either a female or a male. We don't know which one it is, but we know that he stood her up for something. And I don't know who can stand a woman up that's basically throwing herself at you with money unless you got something else. Sheree said she wasn't giving him none. And after he spent a number of years behind bars, he probably did find someone who was going to give him some. Either way, Sheree was sitting there on the outside in a cafe, beautifully dolled up, beat for the gods, and just sitting up here looking left. And the camera, the producers had to come here and tell her, yo, your man ain't coming. His lawyer just contacted us telling us that he ain't coming because it's a parole violation. And he did not communicate that with her. The next day, he called her acting like nothing, he didn't do nothing wrong. Hey, what's up? What's good? I don't know if it's a narcissistic behavior or if it's a defense mechanism where I don't know what to say because I messed up. I know you've been riding for me since I was behind bars. You were my pen pal. You were my soulmate. You were everything that distracted me from all the chaos that goes on behind bars. But now that I'm out, I don't want to look like on TV like I'm just, shitting on you. So I'm going to call here and actually try and contact you to make myself look like I'm a good person, or I'm just going to pretend like I didn't do anything wrong, like I wasn't up under somebody. And so we're just going to play this out. Sheree said she was on the phone with him and she was talking to her daughter, Terry. And she said that she told him she would call him back, except she didn't call him back. And Terry is if you look at Terry's face, the entire time that Sheree was talking, Terry, her daughter, looked like she was just trying to support her mother for the sake of supporting her. But in reality, she feels like her mom is making a huge mistake because Sheree said that she is not going to call him back right now, but she's not ready to throw away all the time she invested in him. But let me be abundantly clear. Time when somebody's behind bars runs differently for us on the outside world. And I know from personal experience, when you have somebody confined behind these types of walls with all these dudes in this controlled environment for a long time, what occurs on the outside world is magnified for them on the inside. If it's love, that's all you can focus on because you want to kind of like distract yourself from all the other nonsense that's going on. So let's say if I was to ballpark, I would say maybe 1 month is jail or prison is equivalent to maybe 1 week on the outside world. I'm just saying because it moves a lot differently. So for me, that's just the ballpark. I'm just guessing. So for Sheree to sit here and say that she's invested so much time, I mean, they did flashback to a few years ago when Nene was sitting up here being shady as heck when she said, you know what, Sheree went and got herself a prison boo, girl. I'm happy for you. That was complete shade. But I wouldn't count that as realistic. If one of your mates, you haven't seen him face to face, you haven't talked to him face to face, the only way you would have saw him is if you had somebody like rub you down and, use a metal detector to make sure you ain't coming with nothing and have you dress code specifically selected, that you go into jail, you're being watched, y'all are sitting down probably across a table with a bunch of other people in blue trying to talk. You can't really confide in that person. You can't really interact. You haven't interacted with that person in the outside world. So saying that you've invested so much time in, I wouldn't consider that so much so as in how much money did you put in that books. That's what I'm thinking. Did you invest what's equivalent to what you should have been paying for the contractors? I mean, I'm curious. But either way, she's telling her daughter that she's not ready to let him go. And she said that she loves him, so love is love. The love that you feel for him may not have been the same love that he felt for his cellmate. I'm just saying. But let's just get this going. So we have Marlo and Kenya now having a conversation and now deciding that they're going to do something for Sheree to make her feel, uplift her, since she's just been embarrassed on national television. We all saw it. It's on Google. We will never forget that She by Sheree was she by herself when she tried to parade this man on national television that she's been dating for a number of years. And Sheree doesn't have good luck with men. And I will explain why I think that later on, because there's something that kind of hit my spirit when I was watching it. So I'm gonna analyze her personality later. But Kenya and Marlo are now building a newfound friendship, allegedly. So they're now going to come together and kind of have this masseuse experience for Sheree, treat her like a queen, basically do the things that Tyrone, if he was out in the real world and was really married to her in a house, should do to make him, to show an apologetic behavior for how you treated your woman. It's to make her feel valued, make her feel like she's the only person in the world that you care about. So Kenya and Marlo are now gonna take it upon themselves to now do this, which is very thoughtful in my opinion. But then the next scene you got is Drew and Kenya now meeting up for lunch or brunch, whichever one this is. And I'm also enjoying this new blossoming friendship between Drew and Kenya, even though Drew starts off a mess, even though Drew keeps putting her foot in her mouth, even though Drew just does not know how to read somebody the right way, and Drew just keeps going. She's over here being gaslit by Ralph so much she don't even know how to communicate when she's trying to read somebody in person that's not Ralph. She's just so been ran over through, run down. Her voice has been so dimmed, so much so that she just keeps getting herself confused. And it's ironic because Kenya actually touched on this. She said, we both lost our voice in our marriages, which makes sense because what Kenya was doing when she was with Mark, she would go home and Mark would kind of gaslight her, bring her down, talk to her down, make her feel like she's not important, make her feel like she's beneath him. And then she'll go and lash out to the group. Drew is experiencing the same phenomenon. She goes home to Ralph. Ralph makes her feel like she's dumb. Ralph makes her feel like what she's seeing is not what she's seeing. Ralph makes her feel like she's completely delusional. So then when she goes into the group, she's deluded when she speaks. She don't make no sense. But now that she's with Kenya, Kenya was able to articulate how she was feeling to Ralph, because Ralph can play Kenya no more. Once you've experienced the type of abuse, you know how to spot it and you know how to counteract it. So Drew and her are getting ready to order. And what struck me is the waiter comes. The waiter's like, hey, y'all ready to eat? And Drew is trying to pick because she's budgeting. Maybe because Ralph is holding her stiff with the account. I don't know what's going on in her house. But all I know is every time I see Kenya and Drew eating, Drew always says that she wants to either split the bill or she's concerned about the amount of cost that food will be. I don't know if it's because she's putting money into this business drop it with Drew that she's trying to do, or if Ralph is doing something with the money that he's not supposed to do. We know that he now crosses state lines every time he gets mad at her to spend some of that money. Who knows how many times he's done that? We don't know. Hell, Drew could be also sponsoring all the assistants in the world that she don't have enough money to pay for her lunch. Who knows? But we're sitting here and she wants to try seafood, and they list 3 different seafoods for her, and Kenya says, get it all. First thing out of Drew's mouth, are you paying? Drew, I talked before in my previous review that I don't know about Drew's pockets. I know that she would like to say that she has deep pockets, but only a person who's actually proven that they have significantly deep pockets may have been Cynthia with her businesses that she's started, or in this case, Kandi with several businesses that she started. Nene says she was rich, but aside from some of the extra shows that she is, we don't know how rich she is. We always knew that Kandi got some serious money. Kim cannot get her facts straight with her revenue that she's making out of her business and the money that she's spending, so we can't believe her. And her husband, we don't know when he's gonna get a job or if he's retired or whatever's going on with them, so we don't know. Sanya, we know that she had money from her professional athlete, and so did her husband, so we can say that there's some money there. But when it comes to Drew, I have not seen Drew in any notable shows besides The Game, and she was an extra on the show. She just had a few episodes that she was there where she broke up Melanie and Derwin and pissed me off with that. So I don't know what else she does as far as money goes. I know she mentioned that Ralph also has his D4 experience maybe in football, and he also now works for a corporation. I don't know what the job, I don't remember what she specifically said was his job title. All I know is whenever I see her and it's time to pay, she always wondering who's gonna come out the pocket and pay. So I'm thinking that she's penny pinching, or she has a rainy day fund from when she decides to relieve Ralph. Who knows? Either way, they're eating and they're talking, and Kenya mentions that she's feeling a little bit under the weather because Brooklyn may have caught a cold. Understandable, because when you have a child If the child gets sick, you all get sick. That's a thing. So all parents know this. It's just, it's spoken. It's going to happen. But then Drew mentions that she low-key feels like they were supposed to be there to support Kandi, and Sanya now decides to basically speak up and talk to her about her qualms and her issues and the stuff that she has, problems that she has about Drew's interacting with Sheree. Now, I don't know why Sanya felt the need to speak up for Sheree, and I know that Drew has a tendency to act aloof, like she don't know what's going on. Huh? What? Who? She's like the Yandy in this situation. Yandy don't ever know nothing in love and hip-hop, so Drew don't ever know nothing in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Sanya decided to address her qualms. However, I also felt like Sanya was either trying to bring up something that don't have anything to do with her, or say, hey, as your friend, I'm seeing something that as a friend I don't like. But then I was willing to give Sanya the benefit of the doubt. Y'all know me. I would give you several opportunities to get your life before I start reading you. But then Sanya kept going and going and going. And in this episode, she looked like a damn fool. So Sanya decided, well, Drew's talking to Kenya. Drew's saying that she's feeling like Sanya doesn't have a brain of her own. Ideally, she would say that because Sanya may have been getting to that point because of all the other scuttlebutt and the talks that other people are doing around her. She's now starting to look at Drew some type of way. But she's ready to forget that when somebody beat her car up, okay, literally totaled that stuff, Drew was the person that she called to come and get her. So if she's playing it off like Drew wasn't a friend, I'm not calling a complete stranger when I'm in a dire situation. I'm gonna call my mama, or my father, or my husband, or my siblings. I'm not calling somebody that's not my friend to come save me or to confide in if I'm in an accident, girl. That's who you call. So now you're playing it off like Drew is just nothing to you. So Drew is peeking this up. Now she's not dumb enough to be able to not see when somebody's not being a friend to her or when somebody's clout chasing, which I appreciate. So Ralph hasn't messed up her brain that much. Now they're talking, and Kenya said, you know what? Sanya invited me to something that she's doing called Mommy Nation. And Drew goes, she invited me too. And then she disinvited me, which I thought was so tacky. How do you invite somebody to something that's supposed to be supporting you? And Drew is also a mom to multiple kids. And the title of her blog is Mommy Nation. Kenya has a kid of her own. Kandi has a kid of her own. Sheree's kids are grown. So I don't understand why she would invite her. Marlo doesn't have any kids. She has nephews. So the only people that would make sense to come and support your Mommy Nation are people who are mothers of little children, who are experiencing things that children who's Sanya's child's age will be experiencing. So it made sense. But now you disinvite her for something that she's just supposed to come and support. That's tacky. And I know that Drew's not expressing that she's hurt, because she showed up for this girl when she was hit by somebody. She could have been ran over. You could have died. And this woman showed up for you when you were panicking. You had the nerve to just send her a disinvite. What is wrong with you? That is so classless. Okay, Sanya is classless, heifer. Then we have the next scene after that. Discuss that. The next scene that we have is Sanya now, or no, after Drew now asked Kenya to let her unblock her on Instagram, because Kenya definitely blocked Drew on Instagram, because you know Kenya is that petty. But that happened. Then we get to Sanya's Mommy Nation photo shoot, and Sanya was clear. She was very, I don't know if it was tact with regard to Kandi and Kenya's followers that she now had them come on her blog. I don't know if that's the case. I also know that she invited Drew, and Drew doesn't have as much followers as Kandi and Kenya. Even if Kandi and Kenya's followers will be to her benefit, she did invite Drew prior to disinviting her, and Drew doesn't have as much followers. So I can't say that that was her motive. But what I can say is this: she's picking sides at this point, and she's aligning herself with the people that she feels would be more beneficial to her. That's what Sanya is doing, number one. Number two, Sanya was very, very strategic in not letting Kandi or Kenya know that when they show up, they will be in her photo shoot. She told them they were there to support her. Support could mean that we're just sitting there watching you. I'm over 21, by the way. Instead, I'm sitting here watching Sanya pretend when Kandi says, you didn't tell us when Kandi says, you didn't tell us you're about to be in a photo shoot. I thought you knew. You knew for dang sure you didn't tell those women that they were going to be in your photo shoot, because you know that you're now trying to capitalize on their clout experience. This is why I said that Sanya sometimes is clout chasing. Because you know that if you told Kenya that she was about to now help basically do a promo, this is a promo for her blog. If you include notable people who've been on Real Housewives for years now, Kenya is known for Miss USA. She's known for being in television shows. She's known for being in movies. She's known for being in videos, music videos. And she has a good following on Twitter and on Instagram. You got Kandi, who's known for Escape, restaurants, other episodes, other shows, plays outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's also been on several interviews, platforms. You're also using her to now promote your Mommy Nation blog. So you are using her for something. Drew may not have held as much power. You just invited her as a friend and as a mom, but you knew what you were doing when you told them that they weren't gonna, you didn't tell them that there would be photo shoot. There would be a photo shoot. You knew what you were doing. And on top of that, you didn't tell them that there's gonna be a Black Friday sale. So apparently, you're not going to even have them do the real sale. You're going to have them there so you can sell out on the stuff that wouldn't sell in the first place. That's what you're doing on your merch. Sanya is very calculating. As a businesswoman, that was a smart move. But as a friend, that was very, very sneaky. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to lie and say that it wasn't, because it was sneaky. And which tells me that she's very, very capable of weaseling her way into stuff like a snake, which is probably why she's targeting Drew, because Drew has been targeted since the season started. Then we get to Kandi and Kenya now after their photo shoot talking to Sanya. This is where I say Kenya was being fake. Now, Sanya decided to let them know that she disinvited Drew because she was hoping that now that she's going to have this cookout of Jamaican food where her mama's going to be the one to cook for everybody, that she hoped that in her event, she can now, while Drew's supposed to be enjoying this good Jamaican food, go to the side and have a conversation about why you're inserting yourself into her and Sheree's beef. She said that was her plan. So that's why she didn't invite Drew to come and take a photo in this Mommy Nation blog, because she felt like she wanted to talk to Drew privately, not at this situation. It would have made more sense with this limited amount of crowd for Sanya to have Drew here, take the photos, have them leave, and then have the conversation with Drew. Not have it when everybody is in the cookout, when everybody can be a part of it to gang up on her. Sanya, you were trying to do that. That's what you were trying to do. What you're saying right now makes no sense. Now, here's where the fakeness comes in. Kenya now asked fuel to the fire, talking about, well, Drew said that you don't have a brain of your own. And she's like, Sanya kind of brushed it off a little bit, just like Drew brushed off Kenya, trying to tell her, yo, you know that Ralph was sitting up there beeping Sanya's underwear so much so this is somebody that we're accusing of cheating. All he's thinking about is trying to get somebody turned on by him. She just brushed it off for now in front of the girls. And I don't think that she really thought about it in that moment, but Kenya threw that little tidbit in, and she just said, okay, whatever. They discussed the potential meal that's supposed to happen with the mom Jamaican food. Everybody goes their separate way, even though you can hear in Kenya's voice that she still sounded a little bit sick in that moment. She did. I don't know if it was just me, but Kenya herself still sounded sick in the first place in that photo shoot. Then we get to the next scene. Now, Sheree is at home, not knowing that Marlo is now getting this thing that she kind of bamboozled Sheree with together to now help her supposedly get her life together. Marlo invited Kenya because Kenya and Sheree are now building a relationship with each other, a friendship. So Marlo wanted Kenya to be there. However, Kenya is now sick. Kenya got beat, did her face. Then she contacted Marlo and said, yo, I won't be able to make it. I'm really sick. Marlo's hype is on, I don't know what kind of sickness you have, because now you're sitting up here beat for the gods, so you lying. And I'm like, Marlo always goes with Kenya. It's a trigger for her. I haven't yet pinpointed the root of Marlo's disdain for Kenya. I do know that Marlo has a severe inferiority complex, that she feels inadequate when she's around certain people, and so she picks at them. Like, for example, Nene. She was up Nene's behind when Nene came up on the show because she felt like Nene could get her on the show and keep her going, because Nene at the time, there was a time when Nene was the star of Real Housewives. She was basically the one that we came to watch because she gave us the tea. She gave us everything. Hell, Phaedra was one of the people that we came to watch on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She gave us everything, even though she was messy. We loved her mess and we loved her reads. Then after that happened, then you got Marlo going after Kandi, calling Kandi a sugar mama, but sugar mama also attests to how much money Kandi has. And Marlo likes to pride herself on being able to afford all these fashions. And when Eva came on, Eva was a model that dealt with a lot of major fashions, and she targeted Eva, calling her no character, until Eva read her for filth and told her to send a batch, and she got nothing. So Marlo has a tendency to pick on people that she's envious of. But with Kenya, I don't know specifically what her envy will be with Kenya. I haven't figured that part out yet. But I do know that she started off with Kenya wrong, because Marlo was aligning with Nene and picking on Kenya when Nene decided that she wasn't going to be friends with Kenya. So it kind of adds to the effect. So whenever Kenya does something, Marlo's instinct is to go towards the negative. Kenya was really sick. We saw her. Kenya was honest enough to call her, and Kenya was wise enough to send Drew, who seems to be a genuinely nice person. I'm sorry to say it, even though she acts dumb and ditzy sometimes, she seems to be a genuinely nice person, even though she clout chases sometimes, even though she acts aloof sometimes, even though she acts ditzy. She seems to genuinely be nice, and Rouse takes advantage of her. She just spent one meal with Kenya, and Kenya got sick, and Kenya asked her to go and bring some goodies, cake and stuff like that for Sheree, and Drew was able to make that trip, left everything she had to do, just like she dropped everything she needed to do to go and pick up Sanya's little ungrateful behind when she got hit by what looked like a whole truck. Okay, then Marlo hangs up the phone with Kenya saying, you ain't coming. Drew shows up, and Drew also lets her know about the Mommy Nation situation that Sanya invited her to, but did not invite Marlo. Marlo is feeling some type of way now based on that information towards Sanya. But Marlo, you're not a mom. I'm sorry, but you're not. All those years that you didn't spend chasing after somebody's wallet, you were not chasing after having your eggs be used. You were chasing after either losing weight. We didn't know you just got liposuction. So that's not what you wanted. You're with your nephews because you're helping out your sister who's not in a mental state to provide for them, which is a good thing. But child, you ain't a mom. You are an auntie, right? So you're a Monty. That's what you said. Call yourself. So I'm confused. Not that you don't do for your nephews, but damn. So Drew lets her know this. Drew lets her know she was uninvited, and Drew also lets her know that she was invited to this cookout, and Sanya was going to try to take that opportunity to now address the situation in front of everybody, and she basically disinvited herself, right? And while this is happening, Sanya is in the store with her mom, now trying to buy the goodies and stuff like that to make curry and brown chicken stew for Jamaican style. And she's telling her mom the story about her interaction with Drew and what happened, but she's omitting specific details. First of all, you're talking to Drew about something that ain't got nothing to do with you. It was between Drew and Sheree. Number two, you invited her something, then you disinvited her. You ain't finna tell that to your mama. So of course Drew is responding now saying you ain't got a brain of your own. She's like, they keep saying Sanya. Sanya's about to see Sanya, girl. We don't want to see you. We already see you. We don't need to see anymore. At this point, we need you to tune some of you down. Maybe hide some of your personality so we can end up liking you again. That's what you need to do. Then we have Drew leaving, and we have Marlo now contacting Sheree. She sent Sheree a Tahoe to pick her up. And I'm not saying a Tahoe is not a bad car, but if money is a thing, and Marlo prides herself in being flashy, a Tahoe wouldn't be what I choose. Maybe an Escalade. But she sent Sheree a Tahoe, told Sheree to get ready, put on something nice, and leave. And then she told Sheree to put on something over her eyes. Hell will freeze over before I am driving in a car with a complete stranger by myself and be covered with my eyes. Y'all heard the stories with Uber where somebody's driving you in the wrong street. You go pop that person one good time. He be like, yo, no, we're going this way. You better take me where I'm supposed to go. I need to see where I am going. I'm not putting that over my dang eye, especially if I'm all glammed up. No, ma'am. But Sheree did it to follow Marlo's rules, and she did ended up going. And then she gets to Marlo's house, or Marlo's abode. Marlo now said that she got her personal shopper or personal store there for her to go shopping. I'm thinking Marlo's like kind of trying to spot her. If I just got stood up, if I just got left by myself on national television, you think what I want to do is go and spend my money? $11,000 exactly. It was $11,160 worth on clothes I may only wear one time. Marlo literally bamboozled her. You got this person in her face telling her she wants to go shopping, but then when all things are said and done, you told her to give her own card. If I was Sheree, I'd be like, girl, no, I didn't come here to go shopping. I'm not trying to spend money. I don't want these clothes. If you're gonna have me come here to buy clothes, you need to at least pay for half of it if you're trying to really help me. Me spending $11,000 on clothes does not make me happy. I'm just worried about my bank account, child. But she basically didn't do that. So Marlo made her pay for that, which I thought was kind of shady and just wrong, Marlo. Why would you invite somebody to your place to enjoy themselves and relax but have them spend $11K? Then, and don't say it's a little bit of money, because $11K goes a long way for a lot of people in this country. So that's crap. Then we have the masseuse coming in. I guess the masseuse is supposed to come and massage him. I didn't see that part. I don't remember seeing that part. I wasn't paying attention. All I remember is now Marlo manipulating Sheree. She gave Sheree good advice with regard to Tyrone. Block him. You don't deserve this. You're a beautiful woman. You need to love yourself. You need to actually value yourself. Nobody who treats you this way deserves your time. All that is all good and said and done. All that is dandy. Those are great. Now, What got me is what followed. Is her now basically painting Kenya as somebody who wasn't supportive of Sheree. Kenya was very supportive of Sheree because Sheree was breaking down, looking lonely by herself in the cold in Philly, looking mildew stuff Philly. She was sitting there by herself, ready to cry, and Kenya picked her back up, helped her pick her face up off the floor on national television. That will be something I will never ever forget about Kenya. So for you to sit there and say that she's not supportive of her, and she had Drew come here and bring you some goodies because she wasn't able to make it herself. She had a contingency plan and Drew was it, and Drew helped out. Marlo is now making it seem like Kenya does not care at all because she's in her feelings. Now this is where I say Sheree, I can understand why she picks the wrong man, because Sheree is easily manipulated. Sheree was easily manipulated. Sheree stood there and let Marlo beat Kenya down and forgot what Kenya was to her in the moment that she was breaking down. She forgot it so quick. So quick, it makes you wonder what kind of loyalty Sheree has to people where herself expecting loyalty. Weren't you just loyal to just Kim not 2 seasons ago? Heck, you've been in and out of these seasons because Kim was your only ally. You fought with everybody on that Nene, Phaedra, Kenya. You didn't have no alliances with nobody but Kim. When Kim left the show, you left the show. Now you're sitting up here trying to let Marlo get in your head, and you're forgetting all the stuff that Kenya has done so far to really help you as a friend, showing up at your at all your events, having your back, really having you when you were broken. Kenya did not pick at you like I would, make fun of you while you were sitting up there looking dumb, while some guy that didn't pay your bills, that is not really screwing you at this point because you're celibate, not giving you nothing but a bunch of nice words over the phone, stood you up. And Kenya had your back. You had the audacity to sit up here and allow Marlo to manipulate you in this way? Are you serious? You should have got up and said, listen, Kenya has been nice to me. I'm just going to talk to her if I feel some type of way. But no, you swallowed all that nonsense and now you're going to sit here and roll with it. Where's all that energy for Tyrone? All you told Tyrone was, I'll call you back. You didn't tell us that you went off on him. You didn't tell us you cussed him out. You didn't tell us you do nothing. But you got all these energy to go and read Kenya. For real? Then that scene ended, and that scene kind of was a disgusting scene for me. Let me know what you think below, because I was not having it. Then we have time to have a slice of Jamaica. Everybody now has to go to Sanya's event with her mama. Sheree shows up. Kandi shows up with her mama. Great. They look like they were interacting well. Sanya's mom was interacting well with everybody. She looked great. Sanya's mom is absolutely beautiful. And so they come in, they're making food, they're getting ready to make the food. Marlo comes in and she has to come in with an entrance as usual. Kenya shows up and Sheree makes a comment. Well, I'm glad Kenya can show up for somebody. Really? If I was Kenya, after seeing all this and after seeing how quickly Sheree can turn on me, I would never support that heifer. Then we have Marlo coming in, making a scene like she didn't just create this drama. And then she comes in and she finds out that they all have to actually help cook. Apparently Marlo, with all her money that she got, is too fancy. She don't want to cook. She just wants to come and eat. Then while everybody was over here doing what they were doing, Sanya gave them the little apron that said, gal, you better can't cook, because this is a famous Jamaican saying. So they all have that. They're all wearing it. They're all learning how to cook. Kenya's asking all the question. Kenya is still a little bit under the weather. You can see her coughing. And Marlo makes the shade like, I don't know why you're coughing. You should have stayed home. Since you didn't come to my event, you shouldn't come to this one. You should have stayed home because you sick. First of all, Marlo needs to knock it off, because there's a possibility that when Kenya was at her sickest, she can be around you. But if her cold is gradually, or whatever she has is gradually dissipating, then she can come out. What you're doing is you're being mean. Then Marlo didn't stop there, because now she's egging it on, because now Sheree joins her, the follower. Why don't you come and support me, bitch? Why don't you come and support me? Kenya's like, I supported you by not coming there and getting you sick when you just went through a traumatic situation. I was wise enough to consider you in that regard. She's like, yes, I support you. Don't even do that, because I don't have a problem with you. On the phone, just on the phone. So Sheree got problems with everybody now. While you spent the last, 13 seasons or 12 seasons that you were on, however many seasons you were on, supporting Kim and some of the racist stuff that she was saying, now you expect Kenya to support you. Now you expect Kandi to be calling you. I know why Kandi's not calling Sheree, because Kandi knows Sheree. Sheree was not supportive of Kandi when Kim was around. Sheree was not supportive of Portia when Kim was around. Sheree was the bone carrier. She was carrying every single mess that she can carry to everybody on the show, causing drama, creating more drama on top of drama. And when Kim was there, that was the only person that she was actually having her back, because it was Kim. She did not support Kandi. She let Kim run her mouth in front of Sheree, and she didn't do nothing about it. So why is Kandi gonna be the one calling you to have your back fact, y'all ain't really friends in real life, and Kandi knows that. So sitting up here expecting Kandi to give you something that you have not been giving her for a number of years is crap. So Sheree's sitting up here now, being the second Marlo, because Marlo got problems with everybody. So now Sheree got a problem with Kandi not supporting her. Kandi's like, I've been through your situation, but I didn't know what to tell you. And then Kandi's mom actually joined in and said, why are you wasting time with this man? Block him. I wouldn't even last a month. At this point, as old as you are, because Sheree's 50 or somewhere close to it or somewhere around that area. Why are you wasting your time with somebody that clearly didn't even have even if Tyrone didn't show up, he had phones. He knew how to find phones behind cell block D. He could find phone anywhere. I'm sorry, you can walk up to somebody and ask them to use your phone real quick. What you did was you did not care. And so you're willing to give all this energy to everybody else about not calling you, but you got Tyrone who actually didn't call you and stood you up. Girl, bye. What you are is you're being hypocritical and you're taking your anger out on the wrong person. So Marlo now decides to attack Sanya about Sanya not inviting her to Mommy Nation on the grounds of her building a better relationship with Kandi and Kenya. Those are not the two people that she felt that are very, very approachable or very, very likable. Marlo, you are not approachable or likable initially either. You just got your peach after 10 years of eating people's booty. So I don't know why on earth you think that suddenly because you have your peach, you can act this way. Girl, you just got your peach. You are still a novice. You are still a virgin in this situation. Don't even try to be the next Nina girl. Your reads are good when Eve is not around. Then we have her attacking Sanya and her saying that, basically Sanya inviting Kandi is for followers and stuff like that. And Sanya just looking at her because Sanya is in shock. Saying you're going to target Marlo now that you know that Drew's not the problem, girl, who you going to pick? So then Marlo decides to say, Sheree, let's go outside. So her and Sheree go outside. And Sheree's sitting there and Marlo is in Sanya's event outside talking crap about everybody that's inside. She said, Sanya is up everybody's ass, and because she hasn't been around the track in 50 years, she got 20 goddamn people living in her house, and she just wants some followers. Now, I went and I looked up Sanya's stats, right? Sanya retired from track in around 2016. She was a commentator for the Olympics, and she's been a TV commentator since then. She hasn't been like a full-time TV commentator. She's had blogs, she's had other projects, but she has used the money that she earned to make something out of herself, and she's also a mother. So for you to sit here when she has her family surrounding her by love, and you want to sit up here, all you have loving you right now, Marlo, is liposuction and your closet. That's it. You ain't got a man. You haven't had a man since the show started because all you date are 90-something-year-old men whose retirement and whose life insurance you want to get. Because she said before that they take Viagra because that's how you last. You date men who take Viagra. Now you're sitting up here with a self-made woman talking crap at an event that she called you to get into. You look disgusting, Marlo. Then we have her talking about Kandi. She said Kandi is a money mom. Kandi's been a hoe. She's been a hoe for free. And she said that she got the whole team in a daddy daycare at home. Then she said Kandi was a damn hoe, but her poom poom wasn't that good, so she always got a date under her tax bracket. First of all, even if Kandi dates out of her tax bracket, she still makes more money than you. You can't even be in her tax bracket, Marlo. How can you talk about somebody who's doing better than you financially? Business-wise, emotionally? She got a man. She got kids of her own. She got multiple businesses going. She's surrounded by the old lady gang. Her family's around. Marlo is extremely jealous of Kandi, and that is where the inferiority complex comes from. You got a lot to say about Kandi and what Kandi's doing and Kandi's sex toys and Kandi's this. It's because she's throwing her success in your face and you jelly. You jealous, girl, but can't nobody help your jealousy but you. Then we have her talking about Kenya now. Kenya has been awfully kind to Marlo despite the fact that Marlo said some of the most horrendous things to her. If your old mama can't love you, I don't know why you da-da-da-da-da. That is cruel. I will never forget that somebody said that to me. We will remember for the day we die. I will remember that. I'll carry it to my grave that this is what you have in your spirit, that this is something that's inside you. Right? So now Marlo gets to Kenya. She said that Kenya is Miss USA, but she been trying, dating all these people. She didn't get a ring. She did get a ring. She was married to Mark. And then she's also a video hoe. Okay, well, she's been in videos, but what I remember you, Marlo, doing is being off of Figueroa and Crenshaw, where all the people over there are either doing crack or trying to get a John. That's what I remember you doing, because you were definitely at some point being an escort. That's what they said. You were an escort. You were dating all these old people who had wives at home, trying to take their money to help build this business you got going on. You don't even know how to spell the archive. Why on earth do you have the nerve to talk crap about all these people? Hell, and you got the nerve to say all the things that you said and to bring Eva back to read you correctly because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to read. And the entire time she's doing this, Sheree is sitting up there gassing her up saying facts. Facts. Sheree, what we know about you, that's facts, is that She by Sheree has not been active for what, decade now that you've been talking about She by Sheree, She by Sheree. We still ain't seen She by Sheree. All we saw is She by herself. Okay? And if it wasn't but for the Real Housewives of Atlanta or us seeing you, she will not be on TV and she will have nothing. So I'm so confused about why you're sitting up here talking about facts on everything. You know you felt that $11,000 in your wallet that you had to cough up from Marlo. You know you felt it. You're not going to say it's true, but you know you felt that money leave your pocket, girl, because you ain't got that kind of money that Kandi got. Girl, bye. This entire episode, everybody was fake. Okay, everybody was fake to a certain extent. Kenya, I think, is doing a lot better now that she's a mom. Her maturity has changed a little bit. She's gotten better over time. She still shades people and she's still Kenya, but I still love having her on a reality TV show. She's still entertaining. Marlo just got her peach after 10 years of licking the floor and acting like a janitor and following people and being Nene's sidekick. She just got a peach. I don't know why she's showing off this way and showing out this way. Girl, you just got your peach. Calm down before somebody take that peach away from you. You're going to talk too much like Phaedra and end up going to Dubai next. And we don't know if you have money for Dubai. You can't spell the archive, so we don't know if you can even get to Dubai. But she's just sitting up there. This episode was a whole lot of shade. Marlo had a lot to say. A whole lot to say. And she had a whole lot of different faces to show. So I did my review. Let me know what y'all think. I hope that you who asked me to do the review enjoys this review. Let me know what you think. You guys have a good rest of your day.